Hello coaches, welcome back to another Modern Soccer Coach Breakdown. This week we're going to look at the importance of triangles. Now obviously triangles have always played an important role in the game. Passing angles, combination play, third player runs, also providing the stability, the structure and the support options in possession. But this week we are going to go one step further and ask what are the most important triangles in terms of positions, in terms of shapes. So we're going to use a traditional 4-3-3 shape as an example in these videos. And before we start, if you pause now and just have a quick reflection, which triangles do you think are the most important in terms of connections? What's your top three? Here are my top three, and if you enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like and please subscribe to the channel. Okay, top three triangles in a 4-3-3. Let's go. So the first triangle is probably the most obvious. It's the centre backs and the number 6, the holding midfielder. Yeah, probably the most obvious because it's in the centre of the pitch. It's the main part of the build. But I think there's part of it that gets overlooked in a big way, and that is the role of the 6, not in terms of breaking pressure or finding space. The role of the 6 in terms of reading the opposition press, so seeing what type of pressure is going to be implemented by the opponent, and then with that, finding the free player as the game is changing. So I'll talk about finding the free player. Rarely does the free player open up in the first phase. 1-2 passes and a free player opens up somewhere else. The 6 sees that and all of a sudden you've got a massive advantage. So I think that there triangle really important, but also to highlight the fact of reading the opponent press with that triangle helps a lot to get out of a pressing situation. The second triangle that I have a preference for is in those wide areas with the fullbacks, the centre midfielders and those wide attackers. So where I think it gives you an advantage of getting out of a game of pressing situation is a third player run in terms of getting that fullback high and in a position to carry the ball. So you can get an attacking fullback and release an attacking fullback. What also you have in this situation is the ability to have stability underneath the ball. So the triangle also gives you countermeasures that you need as well. Then the same triangle actually helps you higher up the pitch. So there's two functions in the build and then in the attack as well. Unlocking a mid to low block. Again, the fullback getting forward and the ability to find that late arriving midfielder is a really big strength for an attack minded possession based 4-3-3 system. And the third triangle that I see overlooked so much is the fact that it never really gets defined as a triangle, and that's 7, 11 and 9. It's usually a straight line, but I think if you start to define this as a triangle, it has a number of advantages for a team. So I would argue the flatter the structure of these front three, the less chance you have of these front three combining, connecting in that final third, which I believe would decrease your probability of scoring goals, certainly against a low block. So I think you need these three to be on the same page. You need these three combining, and the relationship between these three again can be unlocked by positioning if they're closer together. Here's a couple of examples. When you move the 7 and 11 in closer towards the 9, again, you create this natural triangle. Now, what this gives you is a great opportunity for combination play, one-touch combination play at the edge of the box, which is very difficult to defend against. So we can see here that when the ball is played in these inside channels, having the number 9 underneath alongside the 7 and 11 means that they can combine and possibly be creative and improvise with their numbers in that area. And it's very difficult to defend against because you're now closer to the opponent's goal, and players love these situations, these overload, these 1v1s, 2v2, 3v3 type situations. Forwards love playing in those, so getting them close together is really important. And then another advantage is that it offsets the opponent's defensive system. So they'll have to adapt to this normally by bringing in their defenders. Simple enough, you've got an overload there as a defensive team, but that then creates the space for the fullbacks to get into. So now you can push your fullbacks forward. And then if you do unlock the wide spaces with the fullback in attack, now you've got the numbers in the box and you can organise that a little bit better now, where you've got front post, back post around the penalty spot with a runner from midfield, and you can create really good opportunities in front of goal here. So I really like this combination. All right, coaches, hope you enjoyed those ideas. If you want more information, more resources, more content, more in-depth discussions, please check out modernsoccercoach.com/shop. We've got plenty of free stuff on the website. We've also got plenty of resources there, and books, webinars, and workshops to check out. Thanks so much for the support. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.